Hello, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And last Monday, I had a question about my planning. So I thought today would be the perfect day to talk about it and share with you. Hello, I'm Lori Apgar with Lori Apgar Creates, and I make beautiful things for people's homes. I am currently working on some craft show prep and co-op prep that I'm partners with, and I have a lot going on. Good morning, Tamisha. So planning really has helped me immensely. So I just wanted to, I had somebody look at, they caught sight of my planning board last Monday. I think I referenced it, and they wanted to know more about it. So today I'm going to show you more about it. First, I'm going to get my iPad set up so I can see comments a little bit better. Here we go. Oh, that was a nice frozen face on my iPad. Hi, Debbie. Actually, I have my new Archon mount, and I did my first craft demo with it last week, and I have it set up a little differently now, so my iPad is actually further away from me than my phone, so I might not need the iPad. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I start my week every week planning. I have never, ever in my life planned the way I do now. Never. And it's just never been a thing for me. I'm kind of a winger. I kind of wing a lot of things. I would have a calendar, like the full month calendar, and I would plug in all the important things. I'm a big picture thinker. Details kind of frazzle me. So that worked for me for quite a while. But once I took a class, Lights, Camera, Branding, I learned some really good techniques to try to plan better. And so I took those techniques, oh, my hair's goofy, and I tweaked them for me. And I continue to tweak them every month, but I'm going to show you what I started out with because it's a great place to start. So first of all, I want to take a step back. Most of you know that I was in daycare, in-home daycare for 22 years. And I took some classes on some preschool techniques. Oh, thanks, Tamisha. And these preschool techniques were one thing that we learned that was very helpful. Two things, actually. One was problem solving, teaching children to solve their own problems, and it works on adults too. But the plan, do, review. Hi, Patty. Plan, do, review is something that I have done for years, but mostly geared towards children, where we sit down and talk about what is your plan for free play today, and it can be whatever they want, and then they do it, and then we come back. The most important piece is to review. Well, how did it go? Did you change your mind? Did you play with what you wanted? Did you do new things? And that whole concept has stuck with me for quite a while. So plan, do, review is super helpful for me. And those people that know me well know that I have a lot of weird stuff going on in my life, and I get pulled in a lot of different directions. I've never been diagnosed ADD, but I wouldn't be shocked if there's a little bit of that up there. So planning really helps me. And so the first thing I would suggest to anybody who has done very little planning or has done enough to get by is to get a planner. Now, I've never been a planner girl until this year. I would buy them, fill it all out, put the stickers in, and never pick it up again. Can any of you relate to that? My friend Mandy, who's watching, she uses her planner. She actually inspired me at one point of, but I didn't buy it yet. I wasn't ready. But I did buy this planner at the beginning of the year. It's a Day Designer, found it on Amazon, and this is what I needed. I needed the month. This is my month. But it also has the daily stuff, and it's broken down into half-hour slots from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. down one side, and then it has your top 3, and then you can schedule in things that need to do, notes, and things like that on here. And for the first time in my life, you can see, maybe you can't, that big bright light is kind of annoying, but it's necessary. So here is, stay in there. I'm going to just flip through, and you can see that I have written in, I've never written this much in any planner before. Okay, so you have to plan it. The first thing, let's see. Let me open that up. I'm not on the right page. All right, so plan it, then you do it and you review it. So I start out every Monday reviewing the previous week. And how I plan, this is really important, is you need to specifically set a time of your week you're gonna plan. Some people do it Sunday night, some do it Monday morning, some do it Thursdays. Whatever works for you, there's no rules. I will try to do some of my planning, pre-planning Sunday night if I can. Last night I couldn't, I was busy. So I was busy prepping a huge order, so that took precedence. So what I start doing is reviewing, and I review all of my social media platforms that I have for my business. And you also need some supplies. Before I get into this, let me go through the rest. Okay, so you need to schedule time. You need to turn off your distractions. Hi, Georgie. Which means put your phone in airplane mode. Or I don't want to turn mine off because I set a timer on my phone. If you have another way to set a timer or you're just going to eyeball it on the clock, then just shut your phone off. My phone is my #1 distraction in my life, and I'm sure most people can relate to that. I turn off all my notifications for email, Facebook. I don't get dings every time somebody messages me because my phone would never stop. I'm lucky and unlucky. And then write it down. You need to write down everything that you're planning, and I do that with Post-it notes of every shape and size imaginable. Where are the rest of them? They're here somewhere. Here we go. I'm a Post-it note queen. I even have the little, I couldn't find them, but the little shorties, I need to go get more. And also I found, I am a pen, I love certain pens. I like clicky pens. I like these Micron Sharpie pens. And I also have, how appropriate is this? Giraffes are my favorite. I have all of these because I was going to teach myself brush writing, and sometimes I just run out of time for things like that. But these pens have 2 ends. So this is your brush tip. Not so good for planning. You see that on my throat there. The other side is a fine point pen, so you can write with these. All right, so the first thing I do is I review last week, and I write down my Pinterest numbers, you know, how many followers I have, what my reach is, how many things have been reposted, all of those numbers. I don't really get hung up on the numbers as much as if I stayed the same, had less, or had more. Those are the things I'm concerned about. Facebook, I do the same. I write down how many followers I have, my reach, my likes, clicks, all that stuff. Instagram, same thing. If you don't know where to find this information, this is all on business pages. So if you don't have a business page for Facebook, this part doesn't really apply. Doesn't maybe you don't need it, and that's perfectly fine. But when the time comes that you do, it's important to know if you're really making an impact out there. For me, I do live videos a couple times a week, and I want to go when most people are watching my page or available to watch my page. So you need to know when that is. So there's a little bit of planning that goes along that. Starting to live by your planner again. Oh, good job, Jeannie. I know I've never been a planner, ever. I just never took the time. But once I learned properly how to do it, it's been amazing. Okay, so I just review all of my numbers, which I don't spend a lot of time on that because I'm not a numbers person. Some people are very analytical, and this is like their jam. And if that's you, more power to you. But I like to know when are the best times to go live, and what type of topics worked well. If I did a video and it was a bomb, probably won't do that topic again, or at least at that same time. I might try a different time. Okay, so we've reviewed last week's stuff. So now we are going to plan for this week. first thing I do with my planner is I block out all the big stuff. So for today, I know that today at 4:30, I have to take my son to agility training. Tomorrow night, I have a friend coming over to discuss her order. And Wednesday morning, I have to be at the junior high for check-in. And then Friday, we are going to Kansas City for the day. My husband took a vacation day, and we're going to celebrate our last hurrah of the summer for Tanner. And I don't plan for the weekends. If I get time to craft, that's bonus time. All right, so then I know all the pockets of time that I have available to do all the things. So then you can work backwards and plug those things in once you figure out what they are. So here's how I figure out what's important to me. This is a board that I made up. I took an idea from Coach Glitter and personalized it for me. So this might not work for you, and that is okay. But I started with my name at the top. This is just a small piece of foam core. It's not a ginormous one because I didn't know what I needed, and this was a great place to start. So I put my name up here, and yes, I'm a vinyl person, so I cut my stuff out in vinyl, but you can use a Sharpie. Nobody's gonna grade you on the prettiness of your board, okay? So I've got my name here, and then all the words, I had to think about all the words that described me and my business. Okay, I'm a maker, I make things. Okay, I'm a mom, and that plays into some of this as well. I'm a baseball mom, busy mom. I'm a consignor. I sell my work in a couple of shops. I am an instructor. I teach classes online as well as in person. Craft shows. I do some craft shows every fall and every spring. Everybody needs this one, self-care. If you don't plug that into your calendar, it won't happen, right? We need that. Favorite, which would be some of my favorite techniques, my favorite things to watch, my favorite, what's going on right now that's my favorite. Okay, that word just, I wasn't sure how to best describe that, so I just put favorite. And then projects I'm working on. And that can be too, I want to try I want to make this sign design. Or it can be, I really want to learn how to do this over here, work with tools maybe. I really want to learn how to master that saw. That could be one of my projects. So then I get my Post-it notes. So I'm thinking, I set my timer 10 to 20 minutes. I do 20 minutes now. And I think about all the things that I realistically am working on. It can be long-term, short-term. There's no right or wrong answer. Some of these have been on my board for a while. Some will always be on the board. This one here, hot tub night with Tammy, my neighbor, it's been on here for probably 2 months. We will get together eventually. But underneath here are some topics for self-care that are super important, and sometimes I forget them myself. Sometimes it's a great reminder for other people. Having good boundaries, what's in it for me, I'm a yes person, it's okay to say no, I feel overwhelmed, need to hire some help, girlfriend, whatever. Those are just great topics that will always come up over time, so I leave that on my board. These are some other things I'm working on. Your board may look completely different. Maybe you don't do craft shows. Maybe you don't teach classes. Maybe you are focusing on other things, and that's okay. But don't forget, if you're not a mom, just put me. Things that are important to you will spill over into your business or into your schedule. Or maybe you're a busy PTO mama and you've got a lot of stuff going on right now because it's fall and school's ramping up. And you've got meetings and you've got back to school night and you've got t-shirt orders, whatever. You can have a whole category just for that. So it's not, this is not the only way to do it, I guess is my point. All right. So then I've got my topics in mind and I'm like, okay, I know that I need to do this and I need to do that. And I also, don't laugh because this is kind of, I am an artist, but drawing is not my strength. So here is a little picture of me in the middle. And then all of those same kind of words around the edge. Crafts, blog, post, Instagram TV, live demos, inspire, class, and group. And this is a little bit more specific. Hi, Anne, welcome. You're from Philadelphia. I was just out there a couple weeks ago. But underneath me is my little mission statement. Every time I introduce myself, I'm Lori Apgar with Lori Apgar Creates, and I make beautiful things for people's homes. It's a little tagline I came up with about 8 months ago, and I refine it every now and then or change it to the situation. I also like helping other crafty people. And so that's what's underneath my beautiful face. And then I write down all the topics that I have on my big board, and I just, for 20 minutes, write. Now, I used a different color marker for each topic just because I can. You don't have to. Some of the things that I have planned for the week, just to give you an idea, the crafts I'm working on right now, if you could see around me, it's a disaster. It's not a disaster. It's work in progress. I've got all kinds of things that I'm working on because I have craft shows coming up. And I do things in bulk. So I have a list of the things that I'm working on. I'm working on some small signs. I'm working on a big onesie order, a sign for my friend for her shop. I have a sign for my neighbor Tammy, and I have some shirts I need to work on for the co-op. So that's all things that need to get done this whole week. I've got to plug them in somewhere. Okay, my blog, I try to do 1 post a week, so I need some topics. Okay, I was able to crank out a post last night, so I'm good for the week. But I'm looking ahead for next week, writing down different ideas. I need to do a couple videos for Instagram TV. So I've got my comments on there, or my ideas. I've got posts. What am I gonna post on my page this week? Craft show sneak peeks, videos, be kind as always. I'm always looking for ways that I can encourage people to be kind, and I can be kind to others. My live demos, I have 2 12-year-old girls that want to come on and do a dual broadcast with. They want to come to my house and do crafts with us. I need to get that set up because school's starting, so we need to do that. And they've been watching my videos for a long time. And if I'm on, they're like, Mom, Lori's on, we got to watch. Love them. They also go to school with my son, so I've known them since they were in preschool. Inspire, how can I inspire people? With kindness, helping others. How can I, what are some topics that I can think to interweave in when I'm doing a live demo for painting a sign that can somehow inspire you or can help you think about, I never thought about that before. I never realized that this thing that I've just learned how to do and I can do pretty well, I never thought to put it in a craft show or to go in a store. Things like that. How can I inspire you? What directions can I help you think could be your next step? Classes, I'm putting together a ManyChat class. ManyChat is that message that you get before I go live. If you don't get that message and would like that message, I have a pinned post on my Facebook page. You can just sign right in. I send out no more than 1 message a day, and I try to hold it down to 2 to 3 times a week. I also need to figure out how to video the class, what platform to use, and how to promote it out there. Other group things that I have, I'm putting together a group for online craft classes. I don't want to call it paint classes. That's what I'll probably start off with because that was what the majority of people have told me they wanted. And so I'm getting some stuff together so that I can have a paid class without going to a venue where everybody's at all in person, where we can do this live. I have a good friend that has been teaching women how to use power tools safely and effectively for many years in person, and she is shifting that to doing that online. How cool is that? Same concept, but on a different type of project. So I've got steps that I need to do on there. So all this is written down on here. So then what I do is I take the things that I know I have to do. I prioritize them, write them on my stickies, stick them on my board. And I also write them in my planner. So I'm a big picture thinker. I need the big stuff first, and then I can fill in the small stuff. I also know that my family sometimes pulls me in a direction that is away from down here. So I have to build in, I've learned to build in some cushion time. I'm also meeting with a gal from the co-op Wednesday morning real quick. She ordered a bunch of stuff. I've got to get my stuff from her. So I don't want to plan too much that day that I don't have a half hour, an hour to meet with her. She's driving in, you know, from a half hour away, and you know, I know that she's coming, so I want to plan for that. And but that's pretty much how I do it. You don't have to draw your face on a little piece of paper and write down all your things. But the important thing is, thanks Camille, the important thing is that you need to schedule time. And the first time is awkward. And I looked at my phone timer like every 35 seconds. I'm like, I have 8 more minutes. 5 more. I am like nothing. I got nothing. And that's okay. But the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit, like anything else. And I have found too, I try to go to the gym first thing in the morning during the week, because that's when my friend can go. And we ride the bike, do the treadmill, whatever. On the way home from there, it's when I get some of my best ideas, honestly. They just start flowing. As I'm in traffic, I have no distraction, because you know what? I can't be on my phone when I'm driving. I need to pay attention to the road, but when you're sitting at a red light, or you know, you're backed up in traffic, you're like, wow, I could totally use that idea for my next project. Hi, Leslie. Thanks for joining us. Moving to a new house, that sounds stressful. God bless you. We've done that many times, and I don't ever want to move again. Oh, thank you so much. But the brain dump, or just getting that stuff out of your head, is super, super, super helpful. And again, I've never been a big planner. The plan, do, review I've done forever since I worked with small children. You talk about it, you do it, you know, and then you talk about it, how it went, okay? You can apply that to a vacation, okay? You plan your vacation, you get your airline booked or you're driving, and you get your hotel set up, then you plan what you're gonna pack, you plan what you're gonna do every day, right? Plan the vacation, and then you go on the vacation. And then on the way home, you're like, oh my God, next time we should have got a bigger rental car. Next time we should have stayed there. Or I don't think we'll go back here. Or instead of here, let's go here. And so you're doing that already. You're planning, you're doing, you're reviewing. And all you need to do is apply that to your business, your life, your mom responsibilities. I know that not everybody on my page has a business that like mine, and that is totally perfect. That is totally fine. But everybody can apply this in some way to your life. Maybe you're just planning your meals. Maybe you're planning your kids' play dates. Or, okay, I know that I need to get this and this done, but if grandma can watch the baby for 3 hours, I can do these, and these. You all plan, but this is just a more routine way of doing it. So just schedule the time, turn off your distractions, set a timer. What I do, oh, my phone's right there. I turn my phone to airplane mode so I don't get any notifications at all. And I set it for 20 minutes. And if 20 minutes is a lot of time, I started with 10. 20 minutes now flies, and sometimes then I need to add more. But at that 20-minute mark, I take a break. I walk around, run to the bathroom, grab something to drink, whatever, and then I go back in it in a couple minutes. So yeah, no problem, Lisa. The replay will be up for sure. And then write everything down. Write it down, plug it in, find a way that works for you. What works for me specifically might not work for you. Here's my planner with all the blue stuff. Whoops, wrong way. All the blue stuff is blocked out. That's already accounted for. So I have the rest of today. I have all day tomorrow, and I have Wednesday afternoon for a couple of hours, and I have all day Thursday. So that's where I'm gonna plug in all these things to get them done. And then my last personal piece of advice, because I do this a lot. Be realistic with your scheduling. I have listed like 50 things that I know I could get done today, and I can't. And then I get really down on myself. So that's my bonus tip. Be realistic in what you can fit in. I have heard to pick the top 2 to 3, get those done. If you're like me and you're a list checker offer, I love, okay, we talked about supplies, we talked about planner, we talked about foam core, Post-its, and pens. All right, what's next? Okay, planner, okay, got that. The board, got that. All right, I love to check things off. So sometimes I'll break things down into smaller steps just so I have stuff to check off. It makes me feel like I've accomplished more. So if you need to trick your brain a little bit, that's okay too. But bottom line is find a way that works for you. It doesn't have to look like this. It doesn't even have to be a board. You can use a big giant Post-it paper, poster board. Use what you have. You can start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and write, I don't have a, well, maybe this will work. Okay, so you can write with a Sharpie. You don't have to have it super fancy. And then if this works for you, photocopy it. You could print something off if you are a computer guru. You can put fun fonts on there, different colors, whatever floats your boat. And you can start simple and then revise it as you go along. But if you get too caught up in how pretty your page is, you're probably not planning as much as you could. So keep that in mind. And then again, the last thing, when I started, it was awkward. I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. I didn't understand why I wasn't getting all these great ideas. I really didn't. But I kept doing it. And I'm in a group where I post every week. I will take a picture of my board, of my paper, of my planner open. That holds me accountable. And if I don't do that, I'm afraid I'll never do it again. If I don't post that picture, or if I was on vacation for 2 Mondays, and I did a very, very minimal planning, but I did do it because I was afraid it would be too hard to get back into the routine. Just like working out or eating right, one little slip up is not the end of the world, okay? But try to do it once a week. It can be on the best day for you. It can be at the best time for you. You can do it before you go to bed. But once you figure it out and the ideas start flowing, they're gonna flow all day long. So I try to keep a Post-it note with me or a notepad with me all the time, because when I get usually it's when I'm driving, I get the best ideas. So I've been able to record myself on my phone at a red light, go to your, I send emails to myself all the time. That works for me. And I can say, okay, don't forget to blah, 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 and send. That works well, but the ideas will start flowing. Your whole, I don't know, you'll feel more in charge of your week. So I'm not a control freak. I'm not a detail-oriented person, but this has really worked for me. So I don't normally do this, but does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments or any, I don't know, anything? I am not sure if this is helpful. I think for me at first, I was honestly very resistant to it because I'd never done it before. I'm 50 years old and I have never, ever in my life been a planner. So this was hard. We go on vacation, my husband plans the entire thing. And he sends me probably 3 emails a day. Oh, how about this? Or I've got this is booked, this, da, 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 da. I don't even read them all because you know what? I'm not a planner. I just want to pack and go. So if there's any questions that you have or any suggestions, I know Patty, you do the same kind of planning. Tamisha, I'm pretty sure you have learned this too, and maybe you have a different tweak on it. But I know that the first brain dumping that I did does not look like this. I've evolved over time, and you will too. So, oh great! I'm glad I could inspire you to get yours going. Awesome. Oh, thank you, Patty. And I'm a crafty person, so of course I got a lot of comments on the people want to know where I got the stickers. I actually cut these on my my silhouette with vinyl and stuck them on my board. You could buy stickers at the craft store. You could, if you have a friend who cuts vinyl, I'm sure they'd cut them for you. It was just, and some of these have kind of, I don't know. I might redo this to add some different words, because like favorite, I don't really, that really isn't working the way it originally did for me. And that's okay. It's okay to evolve. And then some of the stuff I put on the back are notes that I don't want to forget, or things that I always remember my why me. Why do I do this? Why is it important that I come on live and talk to you? Why? Because I might help somebody else who was once in my shoes think that they couldn't do it. So I keep that on there as a reminder. So hi, Jackie. You plan when you work, but you can't get back into the habit. You know what, Jackie? Being retired is a whole nother ball game, isn't it? First of all, when I retired from daycare, I transitioned right into crafting full-time. I'd been crafting for a while, but everybody assumed that I was retired and like available 24/7. And I still struggle with time management, because people just stop by, or you call it all hours during the day, or they know I'm a night owl, so they message me late at night. So Jackie, my best advice to you is just to do it. Try it for like 3 weeks in a row. Try it pick a day and a time. I try to do it Monday. I usually go to the gym, come home, shower, and then I haven't even done, my hair's still wet, but I'm dressed, and I do it then. And I love to do this Monday midday motivational chat, because when I do videos in the evening, those are all craft videos, and it's not really, it's not the same impact. So thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. All right, so if you think of anything later that you wanted to ask, or maybe say what worked for you, please come back and catch the replay and just make a comment. I would love to answer your questions or get your ideas as well. I get so much inspiration from other people as well. If you caught this on the replay, please put a hashtag replay. I'd love to know that you're here and where you're from. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. My son had a friend spend the night, and they are waiting patiently for me to get off so they can play Fortnite with 2 TVs and 2 gaming systems. So I won't have internet for a while. So have a wonderful week. I will see you soon. I am not positive if I'm coming on tonight or not. I have to get Tanner to agility class and back, and fed and all that stuff. So we'll just wing it today. If you get 2 messages from me, I apologize, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Oh, I would love to see your planner page. Absolutely, Jeannie. Bye-bye.